Danielle McCarthy here from Mind Potential Psychology, back to you with video 4 of this 5-part video series in helping you reduce your stress. Okay, so we have covered in video 1, understanding your stress response and what's going on in your brain and body. In video 2, we talked about changing the way you perceive stress. In video 3, I walked you through learning how to breathe properly from down here in your abdomen. And now in video 4, I'm going to be talking to you about bringing yourself back to the present moment, grounding yourself back in the here and now to help reduce your stress levels. Okay, so the reason this works, this is a bit of a mindfulness principle, okay? The reason this works is that when we become stressed, it's typically because we're getting caught up here in our heads in stressful thoughts. It might be when we're thinking about all the stuff we've got to do on our to-do list, okay? It might be thinking about what if I can't get a car parked? What if this happens? What if that happens? Planning, okay? So it tends to be when we're caught up in all of this stuff up here. By using our senses to ground ourselves back in the present moment, this is a really useful way of getting some space from all of these thoughts. Because if we're paying attention to our senses and what we can see, hear, touch, then we can't be caught up here in all of our stressful thoughts. Okay, so I'm going to give you a really effective grounding tool that I use really commonly with clients in the clinic to help with stress as well as with anxiety. So this is quite useful for people experiencing panic attacks as well. So what we do in this strategy is I tend to use 3 senses. I don't go for the 5. I use the really concrete ones, seeing, hearing, and touching, okay? I just find that they're more concrete than maybe smell, because sometimes there might not be many smells, or taste. There might not be that many tastes. So I like the 3, and I think it simplifies it a little bit. So I like to go for naming 5 of each of those. So 5 things you can hear, 5 things you can see, and 5 things you can touch. And you can do this anywhere, wherever you are, all right? Because nobody needs to know you can do this in your head. So let me walk you through it. All right, so if you're noticing that you're becoming stressed, the first thing you would do is you would stop for a moment and you might notice 5 things you can touch. Okay, so this might be physically bending down like me now and touching the rock. And you're going to really take into account the textures, the sensations of that rock. You're going to really pay attention. You're not just going to go, yep, touch the rock. So you might know 5 things. So you might notice rock. You might notice the sensations of your feet on the rocks. So I can really pay attention to the sensations of my feet pressing against the ground. Okay? I might notice the sensations of my shoes against my feet. So I can really pay attention to the sensations of my sandals against my skin. I might notice the sensations of my top against my skin. So I'm really tuning in and paying attention to the sensations of my clothes against my skin. And finally, something I can also notice at the moment is a slight breeze against my skin. So I'd really pay attention to the sensations of that breeze as it comes across my skin. Okay, so that's 5 things I can touch. But see how I really slowed down the process and really paid attention? I didn't just jump from one to the other. Okay, I really tuned in and paid attention. And while I was doing that, I was totally disengaged from what up in my head. I wasn't thinking anything, okay? And that's how it's going to help reduce my stress levels. So I've just done 5 things I can touch. Next, I'm going to do 5 things I can hear. So I'm going to really tune in. I'm going to pay attention to 5 things I can hear. So right now I can hear the water trickling. I'm going to really pay attention to the tone. And how loud it is, and how it changes, the different trickling sounds. I can also hear some crickets in the background, so I'm going to really pay attention to those crickets. I can also hear some birds chirping, so I'm going to tune into those birds and notice how that sound changes, because now the birds have gone and I can't hear them anymore. I can also, over in the distance, hear some people playing and talking. And I'm noticing how it's kind of getting more and more distant, and now I can't hear it anymore, but then there's some more over there. And then finally I can hear the sounds of some feet against the boardwalk. So I'm really tuning in to the sound, the volume, how loud it is, how it changes. So I've just gone over 5 things I could hear. And again, I have no idea what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking anything. I was paying attention using one of my senses, and that brought me to the present moment, the here and now. I'm not stressed, okay? And finally, 5 things you can see, okay? This is really easy for me today because I'm in beautiful surroundings with beautiful trees, so this is gonna be really easy. So I'm really gonna straight away see this green bush over here, and I'm going to pay attention to the green leaves. I'm actually just picking one, and I'm noticing the different colors on it, where there's a bit of brown, green, the shadows, and I'm really paying attention, and I'm seeing it move a little bit. And then I'm paying attention, and I notice this rock here, and I notice all the different little rocks in it to make it up as a whole, and some moss on it, and somebody's done some engraving here. So I'm really paying attention, and I'm noticing all the different colors, the greens, the browns, a bit of red there. Now I'm noticing the water down here, and I'm noticing how the light reflects off the water, and the mud in there on the rocks, and then the colors of the rocks where it's a bit cleaner here. So I'm really paying attention to all the different, and the little ripple effects in the water as well. And now over there I can see some dead leaves on the ground that have fallen off the trees, and I'm noticing all their different colours, all the different tones of brown, the different shades, the shadows. I'm really paying attention to how the light's bouncing off them. And finally, what just caught my eye then actually was this stick. I just noticed this stick. And I'm noticing all the different browns and greys there, and where it's been snacked off, and this interesting little brown bit up here. And I'm really paying attention. Okay? So 5 things you can see. I think that was 5, it might have been 4, I'm not sure. Let's pretend it was 5, okay? It doesn't matter. The whole point was that I was taking a moment to pay attention using my senses, and that brought me back to the present moment, okay? It grounded me in the here and now, and when I'm in the here and now, I can't be caught up in all of those stressful thoughts that are driving that stress and anxiety. So I hope you found that useful, and you can take away that tool and put it into place when you become aware during your day that you're becoming stressed. This is a great one to use when you're out and about, at work, doing the shopping, at home with the kids. You can use it anywhere, all right? Grounding strategy. Name 5 things you can touch, 5 things you can hear, 5 things you can see. That's it. Hope you found that useful. Stay tuned for our very last video to come, video 5, where I'm going to be talking to you about learning mindfulness and the benefits of mindfulness for your stress. And don't forget to download the downloadable PDF that I've made available for you guys, where I've written every step that I've talked to you and will talk to you about over these 5 videos. It's there so you can refer back to it at any given time in written format. That's it for today, guys. Bye for now.